Bawo what is good, my people? Today, we are reacting to Dave, the boy who played the harp. This is the official video. I started listening to Dave's album, but life sort of got in the way with finishing it. And this is one of the songs that I missed, and I'm happy he dropped the video so we can all sort of listen to it together, my people. But before we do me a quick favor, hit that like button, and if you're new here, hit the subscribe button, notification bell. I appreciate you. Any question, let me know down in those comments below. Without further ado, let's get into this reaction, my people. Dollar. Talk to us, Dave. What you saying today, buddy? Love the piano here. It has like that little skip effect on it too. I like that. How you skip the key or repeated the key. Is Dave a time traveler? What's going on?
Yeah, I sometimes wonder, what would I do in the next generation? In 1940, if I was enlisted to fight for the nation, or in 1960, if I had to fight for the rights of my people and lay down my life on the line so my grandkids could live a life that's peaceful, would I be on that? Would I be front line? That's what I'm thinking. If I was alive in the 1912 and the Titanic and it was sinking, who am I saving? Am I fighting women and children, or am I waiting? I wonder, what would I do in the next generation?
Listen, I got a question for you guys, my people. If you're on the Titanic, right? Are you fighting to get yourself a raft? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I sure am. If I got an elbow of grandma, I forgot somebody like, bro, I'm getting me a raft. You feel me? Like, what would you do, my people? Because that's what Dave is asking, man. That's what he's asking. Like, if you were put in a position where you had to fight in a war, there's currently a war going on right now, in order to achieve, a better life for the generation to come after you, right? Are you going to do that, or are you going to, sit on the sidelines and then reap the rewards of other people's like hard work? It's not even hard work; it's just change that they're fighting for. Like, a lot of people are willing to, say that they'll do something, but when it comes time to do it, there's no action, right? When it comes time to fight for your rights, right, there's no action, right? But you will for sure be the first person in line saying, "Oh, I was." No, you weren't helping. Like, listen, this one's getting a little bit too real for me. It's getting a little bit too real for me. I'm gonna hit play and we're gonna continue.
I love Kabbalah. If they captured me for the sake of my father, would I stand on my honor like Hussein did and then tell them to make me a martyr? Would I get smarter, forgive my oppressor, stick to the creed? If I got locked inside like Nelson Mandela but never was freed, I see a white man dance to rumba, ain't studied Patrice Lumumba, but get on the stage and sing like Sungba, like Jaja Sungba. Bro. Fuck it. I wonder, what would I do in the next generation? Would I fight for justice? Is it the reason my mum named me David? How can you be king?
But here's the thing, though. Why you have to wait for the next generation, though? That's my question. Because your generation is now. Like, that's a lot of people saying, like, in my time we couldn't do X or Y. Yes, you could. You could have. But with doing that, there are risks and there's consequences, and you weren't willing to, fight for that, but you're willing to reap the rewards of that. Because, like, I had a situation where there was an issue going on, and I'm like, listen, we gotta come together and do this and do that, and people are looking at me like I got 5 heads, but I said, with or without you, like, I'm gonna make sure that nobody has to go through what we're going through today. And I did what I had to do, and it worked out, right? But in doing so, the people that were on the sidelines were like, "Oh, we're so grateful for this and that." I'm like, in my mind, I'm just like, just shut up, because you could have been standing there with me. Instead, you were too afraid because you didn't, you didn't want to. You were afraid of the blowback of that. But like, when you are right, like, you should not be afraid to stand up for what's right and what's wrong. Like, you being treated as a human, you being treated fairly. There are things in life that I'm willing to, like, die on a hill for, and that's one of those things, right?
Fuck it. I wonder, what would I do in the next generation? Would I fight for justice? Is it the reason my mum named me David? How can you be king? How can you be king, don't speak for the people?
Oof.
Them man try draw me out and compare like me and these niggas are equal. I'm a black man and this bozo saying my music's socially conscious, while the man them trolling responses. This world's gone totally bonkers. I sometimes wonder, what would I do in the next generation? But I'm knowing the answer, cause what am I doing in this generation?
Yes.
Afraid to...
Yes, yes, yes. That's exactly what I was talking about. What are you willing to do in this generation? Dave called it out, my people. This is why Dave is like goated, man. Because he's literally saying the quiet part out loud. He's literally saying the quiet part out loud that a lot of other artists are not even artists, but people that have his audience, right? His number of supporters, right? People that are in his position will not say, because there's a risk of them being sort of having some type of repercussion, whether it's being sort of shadow banned on certain platforms, whether it's brand deals, brands not wanting to work with you, like decrease in brand like there's so many like blowbacks, right, for fighting, just for simply fighting for something that you should have just as a human, right? Fighting for equality, you know what I mean? Like I'm fortunate enough where I haven't had I've had situations where I'm just like, well, given my personality and how I am, people already know how I operate, right? Like I'm less likely to experience some of the things that other people experience because of just how vocal I am and how willing I am to go as far as I need to go in order to ensure that like what's right is right. Under the law and et cetera, et cetera. Like I won't stop. Like I will continue until, you know what I mean? Like no matter how much I have to spend. Like I had a situation where I had to like hire a lawyer. I didn't care. Like I'm like I will literally empty my bank account in order to make sure that like this situation is fixed, and what should be done is done in the right way. Like, because at the end of the day, I'll just sue and get money back. You know what I mean? One way or the other, or like some you know what I mean? Like, or I'll be blessed in another way. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's the mindset a lot of people I think need to have, in my opinion, because like they're willing to like let stuff get like swept under the rug and let somebody else deal with it, right? Someone like me that'll deal with it because they don't want to deal with it themselves, but they're willing to reap the rewards of that. Like this one is just hitting. It's hitting for me, and like too real. Because like situations just has happened to me like recently where I've been having to deal with stuff that I never deal with before in my entire life. Feel me? But that's just, it is what it is, right?
What would I do in the next generation? But I'm knowing the answer. Cause what am I doing in this generation?
Yes.
Afraid to speak, I don't wanna risk in my occupation. We got kids on the right occupation. There. Our parents, they wouldn't get that. The people that died for our freedom spoke on justice, couldn't accept that. I talk about the money in all my accounts, so why don't I speak on the West Bank? Remember, growing up prejudiced, the damage 7-7 did. Extremists and terrorists. I was afraid of the Taliban. Can't speak out on illegal settlers, now I'm afraid of a shadow ban. What would I...
That's what I said. That's what I said, bro. That's what I said, man. Dave. Listen, I see you, and I hear you, twin. I hear you.
7-7 did. Extremists and terrorists. I was afraid of the Taliban. Can't speak out on illegal settlers, now I'm afraid of a shadow ban. What would I do in the next generation? Critiquing African leaders for selling our country's natural resources to the West for peanuts. If they don't hear, they'll feel us. I question what I'm alive for. And can you say you're alive if you ain't got something you're willing to die for? What am I willing to die for? What am I doing in this generation? I get in my head sometimes. I feel like I'm in despair. That feeling of total powerlessness. I get that sinking feeling that good ain't defeating evil. I put their pain on vinyl, but feel like that shit ain't moving a needle. Retweeting people, raising awareness. In all fairness, ain't gonna bring Chris back to his parents.
Bro, let that bar sit with you. Just let it sink in, because a lot of the times, and I actually talked about this in a reaction I did during the whole Drake and Kendrick beef. There were two YouTubers going back and forth, two YouTube rappers going back and forth, doing diss tracks against each other. And one of the things I said in one reaction, which is unlisted because the video got like two of the videos in there got limited ads due to what I was talking about. And then the whole Kendrick situation where like the videos got claimed. I'm just like, if I take one down, I have to take them all down because then it look like I'm favoring one side or the other. So I just took down the whole Drake situation because they all got copyrighted. And then Kendrick, because the guy was using, one of the guys that was rapping was using Kendrick's beats and situation, right? But anyway, that's really it's a long way to say it. I spoke about that. Essentially, what I was saying was that like a lot of the times people confuse social media justice with day-to-day justice, right? With like work-life justice, like affecting change on a general, like on a level that is a little bit more like granular, like you going to work, you being one of the only people in the office that is, whether your race or your gender, your sexuality, whatever the case may be, but you being that only person, right? And then you being you being one of few people, and then you have something happens to you in that environment, and you have to sort of work through that situation with somebody who is of the same group that you're complaining about, like, and what I said was in that video was like, listen, like, real power doesn't come from uh retweeting and whatnot. Yes, there's social impact to that, but at the end of the day, like, people are only canceled if they allow themselves to be canceled, right? Real power comes from changing the day-to-day. It's like you being in an office, right? And you being able to tell someone that, listen, like, this person is doing X, this person is doing Y, and it being treated like an actual issue versus like you being treated as like, listen, they don't mean it that way. Like, how can you speak for somebody else and what their intentions are when you weren't in the situation, right? It goes back to you complaining about a group and that having that member of that group tell you how someone else was feeling because they feel as though they can speak on it because they look like that person or they are that person. You know what I mean? And that's what Dave was talking about here. Like, we have to change things on a level that can directly impact and affect change. So that means like having people in positions, corporate world, right? Because part of the corporate world, right? Having people in positions, more people in positions that look like you, because they're the only person that can truly understand how you feel. Because like someone can relate, but if they haven't lived through it or haven't experienced it, like they can't fathom your situation and what you've gone through, right? This one just got me thinking, man. It literally got me thinking because like if again, working in the corporate world, you kind of can understand some of the frustrations that I'm talking about. Again, especially if you are of a certain gender, are of a certain ethnicity, are of a certain sexuality. Like those three groups experience things, right, that no other people have experienced. But I don't want to say that it is what it is because it is what it is. But like, what's being done to change that, right? And I don't. Speaking about race right now, because it's a huge issue in America, it's just so difficult because like there's no there's no I don't want to say there's no change because there is change, but it's just happening slowly, right? But change is change. But then it's like reversion. So it's just like I didn't think that we would be where we are in 2026, experiencing the issues that like people in like the 80s experience, people in the 70s, the 60s, the 50s. Like I didn't think we would still be having these reoccurring issues in 2026. I just don't understand. I'm gonna hit play and continue. I'm sorry, I'm ranting.
But there's no other option, it's a process. Gotta stand and protest. Cause they want man silenced, cause they want man dead, or they want man hopeless. In the next generation, I spoke with my ancestors in the night and I showed them. They spoke with tears in their eyes for the brothers they lost and said it was progress. How can it be progress? I asked them, confused, disgusted. They said, David, just so you could fight this, you know how much suffering touched us. And you got a chance, we come from a time and a place where you couldn't get justice. Had to find peace in the fact that we all answer to the one that we trust in. And in our generation, generation, we did do peaceful protests just like you. Burnt buildings just like you. Did boycotts just like you. Sat in a hostel, powerless, did feel powerless just like you. And I know that it may sound strange, but we made some change and we're just like you. I know that you question your character. I know that you suffer in silence. I know that it don't feel right when you go to the club in Victoria Island. Cause how can you dance in a club there's 100 people begging outside it? I know the sins of your father. I know that you're desperate to fight them. So step in your...
So that Victoria Island bar is a very interesting bar. Because if you're Nigerian, you know what he's talking about. Because you know where Victoria Island is, you know what it is, you know what the surrounding area is like you know what I mean? Like you know. So this is one of those, if you know kind of bar. I'm not gonna break it down for you, but for my Nigerian people, you guys know exactly what he's talking about.
Purpose, speak for your people, share your secrets, expose your emotions. You might not see, but there's people that need it, never demand it. And if God can grant it, manifest it and receive it. Your name is David, and that covenant's sacred. You got a promise, so keep it deep it. That man talking the thing, but I bleed it. Man wanna speak on the scene, but I've seen it. Tried in the fire, but I get some anointed. Kano passed me the torch, I received it. God told me I'm the one, I believed it. Shout hollow man, cause he helped me achieve it. I'm the youngest of my brothers. Father, he's the burden on our mothers. Give these niggas money, see their colors. Don't mix me with them, I'm not the one. Grind and miss the summer when it comes. I'm Abraham, I sacrificed the son. Where I'm from, they sacrifice the son. Hold up, I ain't finished, I ain't done. My ancestors told me that my life is prophecy. And it's not just me, it's a whole generation of people gradually making change. They ain't a greater task. Shift that, make a name, make a start. They'll know what they're facing when they ask. With the will of David in my heart, the story of the boy who played the harp.
Bro. This one from Dave, man. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Like if you could take away just one thing from listening to this song and watching this video, like you don't need to be in the 60s. You don't need to be on the Titanic. You don't need to be in I think it's like Karbala. Like your moment is now, my person. Your moment is right now to affect change. Don't speak about what other people should have done in the previous generations, because you can make changes right now. And don't be the person to tell people of this generation of what they should and shouldn't be doing, because like you should have been doing stuff in your generation. You know what I mean? Like your moment is now, and I got one question for you guys, my people. I have one question for you. You know, what are you willing to stand for, even if it costs you, right? And you don't have to, put it in the comments below, but I want you to sit on that question. I want you to think about it, right? And if your answer is nothing, man, then like I don't know, man. My question for you is where do you go next, my person? Where do you go next? If there's nothing in life that you're willing to stand for, even if it costs you everything, like where do you go next, my person? But listen, I will see you in the next one. Peace.